back to One Piece Anime Review, episode number 282. This is reviewing the 1047 episode of the series, which is basically Ascended to the Dawn, a pink dragon gets agitated. Am I correct? Yeah. Now, this episode adapts from pages 10 to 17 of chapter 1023 and the first 5 pages of 1024. Thinking, first 5 pages? What? Usually the first page is cover story. Or this one didn't have one. Nope, it never did. Simply put, this episode is just a lot of setup for like a future next episode. We do get at least 2 fight sequences in the episode. Mostly anyways. There's a lot of stuff going on here. I mean, if you think about it, now you start off with basically Zoro and Sanji just briefly taking on King and Queen. And that's it for them. Chopper is not in the episode. So shockingly, Chopper is the only Straw Hat not seen in the entire episode. You're thinking, wait, did the anime cut him out? No, he is actually not in the mid-source material, so there's that. Mostly put you have just Speed, Otama, Nami, and Usopp riding to the performance floor, where, of course, Usopp gets knocked off, but does meet up with, they kind of contact Frankie, who, first, basically, we also have Brook when he's running away from Black Mar. He's burning up the 3rd floor. And, of course, Brook does contact Jinbei after he's defeated Who's Who. And at this point, from what I can tell, all the top pirates have been defeated. Every single one. So, who's left, you might ask? Well, Kaido, Big Mom, and the 3 disasters. King, Queen, and Jack. Jack, of course, is brief. You see him brief fighting Dogstorm in the episode. We do see Renzo fighting the leader of the Amuhamon, very briefly, for like about 5 minutes. You think there's just kind of like very different stuff going this whole episode. And that's what happens in manga too. So don't blame the anime for this. Blame the manga. I mean, it seems like a lot of stuff happening pretty quickly. Like, I think in the case of this one, they do. Now, in the case of Law and, Captain Kidd, they have a brief sequence. We have them taking on Big Mom, which kind of affects the whole thing with Brook. Not Brook, Usopp. Like, it's Supreme Haki. The Supreme Haki doesn't have color Supreme King. Not really, no. And then, of course, Zeus goes back inside Nami's baton. Let's see, what else? We do briefly see Yamato fighting her father. Yep. And, you think, okay, what else? What else do we see aside from all this other stuff? Well, aside from that, we see Jinbei and Brook talk to each other. Jinbei also takes the time to contact Frankie, who is already defeating his opponent too. We also see the polar bear from Law's crew helping out Frankie, trying to get to the performance floor. That's pretty much everywhere it's going, the performance floor. And then we end the episode. Now, here's the thing about the end of the episode. This actually was the end of chapter 1023 because a lot of the stuff you see the whole episode that's on the first opening, with the exception of the end, that's mostly a lot from the first 5 pages from chapter 1024. The episode does end in the land of Wano itself, where you see Law's crew, most of them anyway, except for Law and 3 people from his crew, where they're seeing, they think it's a giant dragon. Like, is this Kaido? No, it's Momonosuke. And he's got a new actor. Yes. Yeah, they changed Momo's voice actor. Now, it is pointed out though, by the way, do briefly see Cat Vapor taking on Pesper. Almost forgot to mention that one too. Okay, so his original actor here is Aki Oroska. That's his original actor who voiced him as a kid. But the adult one, it's Hiroshima. Yeah, so we went with a younger guy. Okay. Yep, so, yeah, this episode is the debut of the, well, how should I put this? They pretty much in a way, like, have the debut of his giant-sized dragon form. Yep, the giant-sized dragon form makes his debut in this episode. Like Ismo, yep. And of course, wants to fly back up, which of course he is a good attempt to do. Yeah, and it's a really good sequence. I got handed to the anime itself. Now, in his dragon form, he looks almost exactly like Kaido, except he's pink. Yep, except he's pink. But it's a great sequence, and of course, he got this big because of the ripple fruit. Yep, and that's pretty much the episode. Yeah, pretty much what I described here is pretty much what happened over the course of 23 minutes. Just basically, like, just going through all the stuff. Like, we wrap up, like, everything is all wrapped up here. We're converging on various people. We're going to basically, you're thinking, okay, is at this point, are they going to slowly wrap up the arc itself? Kinda, but not really. If you're curious, though, how much of the arc is actually to be adapted? If you're really curious about it. The answer is 35 chapters. Yes, seriously. There is 35 chapters left to be, well, mostly about 35, almost about 35 and a half, about 34 and a half, but pretty much mostly 35 chapters because the first it got to was 1023. I would not be surprised if they wrapped up adapting chapter 1024 next week. Yeah, they're probably going to go through the rest of the chapter. Maybe start very next gen, which would be 1025. But yeah, still a good episode. It looks like it's focused on. Looks like next episode's focused a lot on Yamato. Yep, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Particular view. I would normally do Boruto next, but it gets kind of late. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a night because well. It's just at 10 o'clock now. If I get done the episode, it'll be perfectly fine. The problem is, basically, I like to do a little research. See if anything changed. Normally, for Boruto, I just watch the episode and just do my review. That's because a lot of the series is mostly anime original. But right now, it's not anime original content. Nope. The current arc is adapted from light novels. So, research. I'm going to do it tomorrow. And hopefully... Now, I know that tomorrow is also going to release of the final episode of Season 1 for Chainsaw Man. Very much looking forward to that one. And so, pretty much with this week, I'm going to be ending the review series for the moment for about 3 series. Chainsaw Man is going to be the first one. The other 2 I'm not going to reveal just yet until when they come out. The other is like Chainsaw Man because it's quite obvious. Because last week's episode 11 and the season's already over. Okay? But to see you all tomorrow. Bye.